impress me.
Coming through, bro.
Injustice 2, the Legendary Edition.
Hey, what is up, everybody? My name is Nick Holden, and I'd like to welcome you to the Injustice 2 Legendary Series. It's going to be a big one today, obviously, qualifier week number 2, where we've got our top 4 players that have made it through all the way into the bracket. Those players being none other than Mr. 5000, who essentially stands like the Show Khan on top of the bracket, not to be confused with Brandon, who qualified last week, but the one that awaits them in the grand final, Mr. 5000. Our first match of the tournament going to be none other than FTG Arbor Stacks taking on FTG ACF. The winner of that match will go on to take Alamak, who is going to be a force to face in his own right, losing narrowly in the winner's bracket final. And then a bit later, the winner of that match will progress through to make it to head-to-head against Mr. 5000 himself. So without further ado, I think it's time that I get those players invited to the King of the Hill. Essentially, that's the way we have to get this one started, since there's no direct spectator option when it comes down to Injustice 2 other than the King of the Hill. But for right now, I'd like to welcome each and every one of you who have joined us today. So make sure you get the word out, spread it to your friends, family, your uncles, your sisters, your brothers, your nephews, the girlfriend on the side, the boyfriend on the side. I'm not judging, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so without further ado, how about I take a look at our 2 competitors. First up today, we've got FTG Arbor Stacks going to be taking on the likes of ACF. So he says that he prefers to play, of course, with Captain Cold, Manta, as well as Red Hood. All 3 of these characters going to be quite well used, I'm sure, from our main man today. Both of these teammates coming from essentially the same team, but definitely not from the same country. Kenyan is the representation here from Arbor Stacks on the other side of things. Let's take a look at ACF. He hasn't changed up his selection. Obviously likes the Robin as well as the Catwoman. But we'll have to wait to see what he whips out here today. It's going to be a tricky selection between all of them. I want to find out from all of you watching right now, who do you think is going to take this one? What is your score prediction? Are you backing the South African or not? Let me know in the chats, and I'm going to let these players know that they can leave AFK, and we can get ready to kick this one off. I can't wait to get it going. This is, of course, the Legendary Series. And it's time to jump into the characters to select. So we're just waiting for both of these players to leave AFK. And I believe Arbor Stacks. So we're currently just waiting for ACF to leave AFK. And we'll be able to kick this one off. I hope you guys have all been having an amazing weekend. Of course, Comic-Con taking place in Joburg. I just came back from that yesterday. It was an absolute blast. But I'm happy to be sitting in front of the screen and watching some of best of sub-Saharan African gameplay in front of me right now. So, on our left-hand side is going to be Arbor Stacks, and on our right-hand side is going to be ACF. Catwoman taking on Captain Cold. Ladies and gentlemen, please put in those predictions.
Fighters approaching Arkham Asylum.
Have that third eye, the prediction, to be able to see who comes out on top of this one. And at the moment, I'm gonna have to say
begin.
ACF is probably the man that we need to look out for. He's been quite predominant throughout the qualifiers, and at the moment, both these players actually knocking off one another as the overhead will not connect there from Arbor Stacks. Catwoman now comes in with the low, tries to counter that with her overhead. Well blocked out though. As at the moment, some good damage being thrown down here from ACF. as he puts Baby in a corner, smacking him down once again, connecting with the low, trying to go in with the overhead to stop this combo, keeps the juggle going up. Really solid play as Captain Cold freezing essentially in the corner and not being able to come out anytime soon, as the Catwoman coming from ACF, that is just too strong. And Captain Cold, the only thing really going for him at the moment is he has that opportunity to build up that meter, as it looks like he might need it to come up into the clash. As we see a couple of shots do come out there, and it looks like the clash will get called out here, so going to be able to go back to full health as 2 bars do get spent there, and the uppercut. Uppercut obviously not doing any damage when it comes down to the clash at the moment. A good meter burn being used there to back 3 to be able to keep this combo going. As 13 hit combo going to land 432 damage. Down on his opposite number once again, putting Arbor stacks in the corner. It's not looking good for him at the moment. We'll try to get the freeze going. We'll start that with the back 3 once again. Combination going to be able to keep him up and drop down the glacier. Unfortunately, to be able to connect for him. As the meter burn also gets wasted there from ACF. The low into overhead, we've seen this time and time again, as right now Arbor stacks on the back foot and unfortunately not being able to make the recovery that he needs, as he gets whittled down to critical health and gets knocked onto the back foot. That is going to be round number 1, going in favor of your boy AFC, or should I rather say ACF. It seems like I'm a little bit dyslexic when it comes down to those kind of things, but for right now, it is 1-0 in favor of ATF, and once again, just to make my life a little bit more difficult, these players change sides.
Fighters approaching Gorilla City.
And we get this one ready. Hopefully we can keep the scoreboards as they should be.
Begin.
There's a change up of characters. Pulled out here. Let's take a look at the moment. It is, of course, ACF with the lead. And it looks like we're going to be able to see a refreshed play here from Arbor Stacks, using that 22 top perfection at the moment. Once again, this is the corner that he found himself in last time, and that overhead just to be able to put him down, knock him into his position. And at the moment, going to be able to use that jab to just get himself a little bit of separation, relieve that pressure. Himself to be able to connect as the interactable does get brought into play. That 5-hit combination. So good play right now. Back 3 into combo. Going to be able to use a meter burn just to escape that combo. Arbor Stacks doing well to be able to get some good damage in. Not connecting with the overhead. Mid, however, will be able to find its way in. And once again, this one going to be able to counteract that overhead jump time and time again, as it's a double KO. We don't get to see those too often, ladies and gentlemen. But right now, he says, get over here, as he whips him up across the map. And we might be able to see a refresh Arbor Stacks coming up with some massive plays. Which, remember, once again, it's Kenya taking on South Africa. And hopefully you're backing your boyties if you're in South Africa. I'm not too sure what they're talking about, what the Kenyan side of it is. But for right now, his way is doing a decent amount of damage. Both of these players with a decent amount of meter. Looks like the meter burn does get cancelled there from ACF. We'll be able to come up with the mid juggle and come into a combination there with the meter burn. And Arbor Stacks actually not deciding to clash that one. Interesting enough, finally the clash does come in. But 2 bars to work with. It's going to be interesting to see if he actually contests this thing. He's going to have to burn the 3, and that's going to at least get him 30% health regen at the moment. And it's ACF on the potential back foot. Still has the clash in hand, as he is pretty low on health. Oh, a big uppercut going to be called into play there. Now this is an opportunity for ACF to be able to bring back some health of his own. Burns only 1 bar, so that's only going to be a 15% regen. This one still can go either way, ladies and gentlemen. The low's not going to be able to connect, as the mid whip not going to be able to come into play. Big overhead play as it comes to another mid-burn combination, as the juggle will come in from the Catwoman ACF. Currently with 1 more lead. All he needs to do is win with 1 more round. Big meter burn combo as the overhead connects, and just like that, he makes it 2 and whittles down Arbor Stacks into falling out of the losers bracket. So, ladies and gentlemen, that means one thing. If we go over to our schedule, that means your boy ACF is going to be taking on Alamak. So we're going to get him into the game in just a second, ladies and gentlemen. So hold tight as I get the match ready, and I'll be back with you in a few.
To impress me.
Coming through, bro.
Injustice 2, the Legendary Edition.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to move over to the losers bracket final, where the man himself, we saw him last week, ACF, has progressed through to make it through all the way to the losers bracket final. He goes on to face Alamak, the man from Plan G himself. I'm very familiar with him, but not too familiar with his playstyle. He does prefer a certain amount of characters. So once again, let's take a look at ACF, and he's going to be able to use, of course, those three characters we mentioned a little bit earlier. But from Alamak's side, let's introduce him to the side of things. So let me do that a little bit slower from my side, as it seems like the system just needs to play a little bit of catch up. And there we go. We'll get that one going. Fantastic. Technical errors, they do happen from time to time. So Sub-Zero, Green Lantern, and the darkness, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to have to wait and see who comes out on top of this one. Put your predictions in the chat, and if you're enjoying yourself, please let me know. We do put in a lot of effort where we try to, and I'm going to ask both of these players to leave AFK and get ready to jump into character to select. Ladies and gentlemen, is it going to be the man ACF progressing through to guarantee himself in the top two, or is it going to be the Bane, the man himself, Alamak? I do apologize for the very bad voiceover, but we do try, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like he's actually going to go with Sub-Zero taking on Catwoman, so maybe Alamak was watching from the sidelines, maybe seeing that, to be honest, it looks like ACF likes to go with that low whip into overhead, so that's definitely a combo that he needs to keep an eye out for. I'm going to predict who I'm going to go with. Let's go with Alamak. But for right now, I see some people putting in some predictions. Clint saying the best man that wins. Vital saying let's go Alamak, as the overhead combination will come in here. Let me just double check that I've got this right when it comes down to the gameplay. I believe that is actually flipped at the moment, so let me get that sorted on my side while we hold tight and you guys sit comfy. I believe it is our C on the right, and we've got Alamak. It is not a mirror matchup. There we go. We've got that set up. It's going to be another meter burn into a back three. Unfortunately, drops the combo halfway there as Alamak takes Sub-Zero. He's going to put out the frozen statue. That's obviously not going to be able to connect. That allows him to jump out of that situation. We'll try hit him with the frost ball from a distance. We'll be able to connect with a low three, but coming up with a big wake-up meter burn there does your boy, as a very closely fought competition between both of these two, as advantage going in favor of ACF in this early round, as trying to once again freeze his opposition. Big blocks coming out here, as he will be able to connect with the low. Throws his body over to him and says, dude, take a freeze, but unfortunately not being able to connect with that one, but eventually landing the overhead. So right now, once again, going to use that fastest in the shield, preventing his opposite number from coming in. Obviously using that range from a distance to try start of these combos is Alamak at the moment. Once again, going to use that body top, unfortunately not going to be able to connect. Trying to get in with the lows, but once again finds himself in the corner. A couple of mid juggles come into play. Once again, a big meter burn. Unfortunately not connecting. This should give him a big opportunity. Going to use the map interactable, of course. We're going to keep going, ladies and gentlemen. As I believe that was a back three punch into the environment. I'm not too sure. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I am still a little bit moving when it comes to fighting, but I do try, ladies and gentlemen. As once again, the body will come out into play. And a big overhead meter burn coming in there. As Element's currently on critical, and it looks like the interactable will be able to knock him down there, as it is your boy, ACF, who whips it good, and managed to come up with the win there. So, big plays from him as we go back to character select. And it looks like once again, it's going to make it a bit difficult as we swap sides once again. Catwoman obviously will be selected. Sub-Zero on the other side of things.
Fighters approaching the Batcave.
Around, it is going to be your boy Alamak on the right-hand side. And ACF on the left. So
Begin.
this one live. And it looks like we can kick things off finally here. Alamak now on the back foot. He needs to try and pick this one up, and a couple of mid shots will come into play. Once again, trying to use that body block just to prevent his opposite number from rushing in too quickly there. And actually finds himself jumping overhead, puts himself back into the corner, not going to be able to connect with the down drop side. Once again, missing out. So a couple of big missed opportunities coming in here from Alamak, as the big combo will get called in here. Unfortunately, not really able to change that combo there from ACF. As there we go, big jungle, and this is where Sub-Zero completely excels. Screams here, comes into a big couple of mid hits with the grab. That's a 21 hit, 485 coming into play. And guess what? Catwoman's going to claw her way back into it, as ACF's not going to be able to give this one up without a fight. Alright, so we'll come up with the body block. Unfortunately, that one comes overhead, and big overhead actually be blocked out there. So let's see, he's going to throw that one out. Not going to be able to connect, but the map interaction will come into play here. As Catwoman's going to be able to use that in her own right. Meter burn into the back three combo, going to be able to keep this juggle up as he whips it good once again. Big hammer overhead as here's the juggle once again. We saw it a little bit earlier. This should whittle him down into that one bar, but it's a big back three meter burn there as the clash will finally get called out here from Alabama.
Just watch me.
And there you go. That's going to be a defender success with 25% health regen. He desperately needs it at this stage. Double low. Just going to be able to test his opposite number as he manages to stay out on top of that one. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is a best of three. So, essentially, ACF just needs to win one more match here, but then he will go on to face the winner's bracket finale champion, where he'll need to essentially beat him in two best of threes. Whereas Mr. 5000 almost guaranteeing himself that slot. This is all about trying to make sure you can make it into the top two. Guarantee yourself entry into the Legendary League. That's what it's all about here. There's only 2 qualifiers left, and you don't want to be whittled down as it is. Alamak currently on the back foot. Ooh, that meter burn not going to be able to connect. However, puts himself in a good position as there's going to be a huge. Did I mention huge? Meter burn, back three, knock down his opposite number. So that's going to be your boy ACF coming up with a big win. We're going to get things once again reset as we kick off with the next round. It is the winner's bracket, or rather the grand finale here, ladies and gentlemen.
Me.
Coming through, bro.
Injustice 2, the Legendary Edition.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is your boy FTGACF who has managed to make it all the way through to face Mr. 5000 in the final. Congrats to both of these players. They now find themselves in the money as well as in the Legendary League. So, round of applause overdue to both of these players for making it thus far in the competition. So, how about we take a look at Mr. 5000 and what characters that he is going to be likely to select going into this finale. So without further ado, I'm going to double click on that one and make sure we can have a look at exactly what he has to offer here. So the Zambian player, if we can get that one reset, Mr. 5000, going to be playing with Enchantress. And I believe he's also preferring the Flash as well as Superman. So really interesting selections there. I've actually never spectated an Enchantress game in my life, so that might be interesting to take a look at, as we're still waiting for him to connect to the game from our side of things. But I want to find out from all of you watching at home or on the couch or at wherever you might be. Hell, some of you might still be at Comic-Con. I want to find out who you think is going to be able to take on this one. Will it be the South African ACF who rose through the losers bracket? Or will it be the man who went undefeated all the way through, Mr. 5000? We now wait and see, as Mr. 5000 still needs to be able to join the lobby, so I'm going to just wait for him on our side of things. And we can get this one started. Please, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you get those predictions in as we wait to get this one going. But if you want to be a part of the action, it's pretty damn simple. Head over to the ACGL site. That is acgl.co.za. And one of the things that you're going to be able to participate is obviously Qualifier 3. If you don't make it as one of the top 2, no need to fret. On the 29th of September, we have Qualifier number 4. Of course, after that, we're taking a short little break. We've got Rage to look forward to. A couple of you players might be able to find your way there. But after that, we've got the Legendary League, where we're going to get those players competing on a weekly basis for their fixtures over 2 weeks to make it into the grand finale. The grand finale will take place on the 28th of October. And for right now, we are still waiting. Mr. 5000, who has already qualified through. We just need to be able to send him another invite. Apparently, he can't join the lobby. I don't know if that's a little bit of nerves showing through on his side, or maybe it's just a little bit of a tentative strategic play, getting inside the opposition's heads. We know when it comes down to land play, some people like to do that against one another, deciding to sit down on the one seat and just look at the other player and say, you know what, this is my seat. You ain't going nowhere, son, as they try to pick up the controller. Obviously, that's when refs like myself have to get called in to do the nitty-gritty. But regardless, we're going to invite him to the game once again and make sure that we can get this one started. I'm really, by the way, happy that this is happening. I have not been seeing too many streams from my side of things. I'm really happy to be a part of this. Please let me know if you want to be a part of the action. Hit us up. This is, of course, ACGL family that are making this happen in coordination with Warner Brother Games, Gamefinity, as well as the crew that brought you the Injustice 2 series. But for right now, it looks like our boy Mr. 5000 has joined, and we can get ready for character select. So, without further ado, let's jump in and see what these two players are going to be able to pick up. We've got MTB 5000 on the left-hand side, and I believe I actually left AFK. I am such a noob. That is absolutely terrible. Quitting the game session. Oh, wow. That is really bad, ladies and gentlemen. I do apologize for that. So I'm going to jump out of that one and get that set up. So hold tight. I'm going to invite them back to a game. And we'll get this one kicked off. So, like I said, it's the same crew that brought you I2CZA. The Injustice 2 Championship Series was absolutely fantastic, where we had Jack Parrow and Walkoff Policeicar essentially as a part of the concert. And I had an absolute blast. I'm sure you guys did too. There's a couple of players that managed to make it through on those rounds that didn't actually participate in the qualifiers just yet. One of those players, Smoke Vengeance, that I want to be able to mention. I have not seen much from Z the Janitor either at this point, and neither from, I am completely forgetting his name. I don't know why I've drawn a blank. It's Illidan's brother, as some of you guys might know him. And unfortunately, that's Targa Khan. He still has not participated in the qualifiers thus far. So at the moment, we're kind of just waiting to see more from those players. But clearly, opening up the border to the rest of the African countries has proven a wise decision. We've seen exactly what kind of talent is out there on the international scene. But from the local scene, we've seen very little in terms of being able to put these players on the spotlight in a competition like this one. And that's what gets me really, really excited, as it looks like your boy AFC has joined. We're now waiting Mr. 5000. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, put your predictions in the chat. And I'll make sure this time that I do not leave AFK. I think I wanted to play as well. I saw all of these guys getting all of the action, and I just wanted to be a part of it too. Feels bad, man. All right. So. The Clint saying, let's go SA. So he's clearly in the court of ACF. As both of these players can leave AFK. I believe they have. And we'll be able to jump straight into their action. We're just waiting for the players, waiting for the lobby to get set. I'm not too sure if we're hitting a little bit of a glitch on that side. As you can see, I'm on AFK, but MTB 5000 as well as ACF is also. So, it's time to get this one going. We've had a little bit of delay, but once again, let's have a look at exactly what characters they want to go with. So we've got AFC, or rather ACF, that's a little bit of a spelling error, and it looks like they're going to character selection. Without further ado, let's jump in, as it looks like on our right-hand side,
reverse flash
5000. And it looks like we're gonna have a little bit of the Flash taking on Catwoman. So this is a good matchup. I haven't seen this one just yet. Both of these characters like to get in your face, and I'm gonna put my money on the South African. Someone I've got a back local.
Begin.
But right now, I do apologize. This is left-hand side. There's a big combination coming out from your boy from the get-go. So as I correct that from my end, we have obviously got Mr. 5000 on our right-hand side. So let's get that sorted out. But right now, it looks like MTB doing well to be able to block out his opposite number as he comes up with the mid just to counteract that jump coming in from Catwoman. Once again, coming out with some big blocks, puts him on the back foot into the corner. Ooh, an overhead does come into play, but unfortunately the combo does not follow through, as MTB 5000 looking oh so solid right now. A low into an overhead as the meter burn unfortunately not going to be able to connect, as it looks like ACF has himself essentially countered. It looks like MTB 5000 has been doing homework at the moment. He will be able to connect with the grab, and a rush comes into play, but both the players getting essentially knocked down as the back three into the combo. He'll be able to whip that one out. Unfortunately, drops it down as the map is will come into play, and this is huge here from ACF to remain into the competition. The grab once again coming, and it seems like the overhead is not going to be able to connect, as the meter will come into play here as he juggles him up and knocks him back, and it is ACF who comes down as the loser after landing at the back end of that combo. It is your boy, Mr. 5000, coming up huge. Alright, so back to character select we go. And let's just wait and see if they're going to flip things over from their side of things.
Flash.
Yeah, MTB is going to be moving over to the left-hand side, and once again, it's going to be Catwoman on the right. So,
fighters approaching the Batcave.
I really don't know how your boy AFC is going to be able to come out on top of this one. It was a massive win there for Mr. 5000.
Begin.
As they swap sides right now, and it's going to be a low to start things off. The first hit on the first meter being awarded to ACF. It's a big back three into the overhead combo, and puts him into the corner right now. So this one really can go either way, as the back three not going to be able to connect there from your boy ACF, but he will be able to keep the juggle up going into the corner. Now, will it be the 50-50? Will he go for the overhead? No, the grab will be able to come out just in time. And, so far, both these players looking very closely forward as the overhead comes into play. And the trick from the flash comes in with another big overhead into low mid as he keeps the juggle up, going into this corner. Big 14-hit combo. Wow, wow, wow. Too fast is the flash. MTB 5000 looking really, really solid off of the bat. Now Catwoman's going to be able to use that meter burn into back three. Once again, launches them into the air. Managed to connect with a couple of mids. Puts Benji in the corner once again. And keeps that mid juggle. Good play here being shown from ACF as he nails up the combo and brings it back to 1 bar apiece. Play the game indeed as the call out double kick combo as he juggles him up into the mid-air. Will, however, drop that combo halfway through. That one potentially going to be able to be clashed here from ACF. How many bars? I'm not too sure if I managed to catch that side. Oh, okay, he's quite a bit to be able to. Only spends the 1, so that's only going to be a 15% health regen. Risky move considering AFG also had 1 bar to spend if he wanted to. Very tentative play from both of these players as unfortunately not going to be able to come down with that meter burn as the grab is coming into play there. There's a couple of bluff plays. You can see MTB just using that dash to try counteract his opposition, predicting exactly what he's going to be able to make a move here. Very tentative play from both of these players, but it looks like a big mid hit. It's the overhead that catches ACF off guard here as the trait will come into play here. Big low being called in. And once again, coming off the wake up, just being able to prevent that overhead as the clash finally gets called in there from MTB of his own here. It's got to be said, he has been looking fantastic, and at the moment, looks like he's pretty much guaranteed the top spot here, ladies and gentlemen, as he takes the #1 spot of qualifier number 2. Dust yourself off, good sir. Looking absolutely fantastic, and I'm sure some of you from behind your screens are giving this man a round of applause. It is Mr. 5000, the Zambian himself, representing not only country, but name in its own right to be able to come up with the #1 seed in qualifier number 2. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, let me just give you a breakdown of what you can expect next week. It is the 22nd of September, qualifier number 3. That is going to be your second last opportunity to get yourself into the Legendary League. Absolutely fantastic play from the lads. And it has to be said, Mr. 5000 looking fantastic throughout. But for me, Nick Holden, it has been an absolute pleasure casting once again another great weekend of Injustice 2 Legendary Season action. I hope you have all enjoyed yourself here today, and I'd like to thank you all for tuning in to the stream. Other than that, I'll catch you same time next week as we kick off qualifier number 3. This has been the Injustice 2 Legendary Series presented by ACGL.
To impress me.
Taking no calls, train like a dog, ain't no days off. If I